I would like to start by saying thanks to IPR Plus, Arise IPR Plus, just for giving me the opportunity to speak here today with you about the impact of Café de Colombia as a geographical indication and how has evolved Colombian coffee over the years. And we will see a little history here before Café de Colombia became a geographical indication and an appellation of origin in Colombia. So let's start. So in the 1960s, 1959, Juan Valdez became the character that symbolized Colombian coffee over the world. So the Federación Nacional de Cafeteros, the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation, the organization that I work for, and the organization responsible for administer the Colombian coffee and the geographical indication, visualize and it was able to understand that how the impact of Colombian coffee need to be understood in countries different than in Colombia, especially because the international markets were so important for Colombian coffee in recognizing quality and origin of our coffee. So the Federation came up with this idea to create this character that symbolizes all the attributes of Colombian coffee, especially the principles and the characteristics of our Colombian coffee growers. So that's why Juan Valdez saw the light in 1959 in a newspaper in New York. And in a very little piece of paper, Juan Valdez was introduced to the world as a symbol of education regarding Colombian coffee. And we can see in these photographs how the first images of Juan Valdez were so important in order to learn about Colombian coffee and how this image and how this character has evolved over the years, especially in special like scenarios like cinema and movies. I don't know if you saw Juan Valdez in one special movie uh, in around the 2000s. So this is a picture of this movie where Juan Valdez handled the main character, a cup of Colombian coffee, and this image was very famous around the world. And in that moment, Juan Valdez complete the circle of importance worldwide. So right now, Juan Valdez is a trademark, and we will see how this evolved, how this importance in the circle was evolving in order to become what it is today, Juan Valdez, a trademark that represents the Colombian coffee growers. So right after the introduction of Juan Valdez and Conchita, I don't know if you've seen the move that is a companion of Juan Valdez. They represent together a symbol of Colombian coffee. So right after Juan Valdez was introduced as a character, so it became so important that all the key actors of the chain recognized Juan Valdez as a symbol of Colombian coffee. So in the 1980s, Federation came up with another idea of creating a logo especially for Colombian coffee. And this is how the triangle with the mountains behind Juan Valdez and Conchita in the front represent Colombian coffee as a whole. So that's why this trademark became so important to represent origin and quality. So that's how the 100% Colombian coffee was born in 1980s, and it was born with some objectives in order to represent our Colombian coffee in the international market. So it was great for some important reasons, especially to raise awareness about the origin of Colombian coffee, to differentiate the Colombian coffee segment from the blends, because Colombian coffee cannot, and we will see it afterwards, cannot be mixed or cannot it cannot be a blend uh, of other origins. For example, you will not find in the market a real Colombian coffee mixed or blend, for example, with coffee from another origin, let's say from Brazil. So if you find a package that says Colombian coffee, but is mixed with coffees from other origins, that's not real Colombian coffee. And that's how this trademark will help users to identify when they are in front of a real and 100% Colombian coffee. Also, this trademark was created in order to have recognition of the quality attributes of Colombian coffee. In addition, this trademark generate income to the growers by enhancing the premium quality of the Colombian coffee. If you find this symbol in packages of roasted coffee or beans or in coffee beans, you will assure that you are consuming and you are in front in 100% Colombian coffee. Actually, this trademark also was created to increase the demand of roasters, because we use this trademark and we give a license to the roasters that transform the raw material, the coffee green, before it's processed in order to convert it in roasted coffee or freeze-dried coffee. So we assure that the roasters have all the traceability of the raw material in order to use the Café de Colombia, this trademark, in their packages. Also, this trademark was created to consolidate a segment of consumers that are willing to select 100% Colombian coffee uh, as an origin from other coffees. So, for example, the example that I used before, the Brazilian coffee, for instance. So that's how Café de Colombia, through this 100% Colombian coffee program, that is a licensing program, became so important, and is right now known as the richest coffee in the world, especially in the Asian market. And this is a hint for you. For example, if you have tried Colombian coffee, if you are avid consumer of Colombian coffee, you will find, especially in the Asian market, the Colombian coffee packages labeled as the richest coffee in the world. So why a geographical indication for Colombian coffee? So as we can see, the history of Café de Colombia started with a character. It evolved into a trademark and then a geographical indication. And why? Why Colombia needed a geographical indication to protect the origin of its most famous product. So it was a part of a differentiation plan and strategy, and a commercial position for Colombian coffee, and give it a special positioning in the global market, because as you know, coffee is a commodity. So the prices depend of different reasons, and Colombia, especially the Colombian Coffee Confederations, realize that through a geographical indication, Café de Colombia will have that extra differentiation part that will be give it a special position in the coffee market. Also, to secure the reputation of the product that had achieved so much over the years, especially in terms of recognition in the international markets. also to generate additional income to the coffee growers by enhancing and by giving a special recognition to the premium quality of Colombian coffee. Obviously to increase the amount of roasters and aiming to create a more transparent market because of the traceability and all the overall all the quality controls we can have and we can assure to users and consumers that you are acquiring a 100% Colombian coffee when you find the geographical indications and appellation of origins logos in the packages of Colombian coffee. So I will give you a brief look of the recognition process of the geographical indication and appellation of origin. So this story began in 2004 when Colombian Coffee Growers Federation filed the petition before the trademark office in Colombia to recognize Café de Colombian as an appellation of origin. So in 2005, 1 year later, this petition was granted, and Café de Colombia was the first recognized appellation of origin protected in Colombia. So right afterwards, in 2007, the European Commission recognized Café de Colombia as the first international foreigner geographical indication that was recognized within the European Union. So Café de Colombia opened the path to other products as tequila, as foreigners' appellations of origin to be recognized within the European Union. So this happened 2 years later after the recognition in Colombia was granted. This was in 2007. So the European Commission protected Café de Colombian as a geographical indication. So later on in 2013, Switzerland did the same and recognized Café de Colombia as a geographical indication, and now is protected under the same system in the United Kingdom through the Brexit process. As you may know, United Kingdom is not a longer a European Union member. So right now they have the UK has its own system, and Café de Colombia was protected in UK in 2022. In addition, in order to enhance these particular and these important characteristics of the coffees produced in Colombia, the Coffee Growers Organization developed another strategy to give importance to these profiles of coffee that are produced in different regions of Colombia. So that's how we have regional designations of origin protected in Colombia and also protected in the Andean community countries, especially in Bolivia, Ecuador, and Peru, and obviously in Colombia. And these regions that are protected under the appellation of origin system are coffee from Cauca, Café de Cauca, Café de Nariño, Café de Huila, Café de Santander, Café de Sierra Nevada, and Café de Tolima. These are coffees that has special characteristics, and because of their quality and their origin, they were granted a special recognition in Colombia. Right now, we are working to obtain the same recognition in the European Union to have like a transversal and have the same protection in the European Union as we have it in the Andean community. So how the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation interacts with Café de Colombia as a geographical indication, and why this organization is the entity responsible for administer and for managing the geographical indication. So we are the organization responsible for handling and conducting all the control over the products using CAFÉ de Colombia. And that it has a reason, because the federation was created and was founded in 1927, and we will be turning 100 years in 2027, and that will mark a very important point in history, because all these years before 2005 and even before 1959, when Juan Valdez was created, Federación and this organization was created and created all a project aiming to recognize and protect the origin of Café de Colombia. And this is important because uh, all these uh, all these projects and all the strategy under recognizing and achieving all these important scenarios where Café de Colombia is highly recognized was uh, achieved, especially because of the activities that the Federación developed over the years. And this is not and it was not achieved only with the geographical indication. The geographical indication is the result of the history and all the hard work of the coffee growers over the years. And what is the Federación Nacional de Cafeteros, or the National Coffee Growers Federation? So it's the biggest rural NGO. We are a non-profit and non-governmental organization. We aim to protect the welfare of the coffee growers, not only in Colombia, but in the world. So as I told you, in the 1927, the Federation started a program to work for the well-being and to improve the quality of life of the Colombian coffee growers, especially because we are a compound of small coffee growers that has limited income and limited area of coffee production. So the Federación is aiming to improve the well-being of the coffee growers in Colombia. And also it represents over 540,000 producers and their families. So why FNC, or the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation, was appointed and designated by the Colombian Trademark Office to administer and to be responsible of the appellation of origin, because it demonstrated back in 2005, and it has it right now, that it could be developed and it could handle effective verification and controls over the coffee that is right now in the market, identified by Colombian coffee, or that it declares its origin as Colombian. Also because the Coffee Growers Federation has technical and scientific knowledge in order to determine and identify when we are in front of 100% Colombian coffee. And obviously because the resources, especially human resources, and all the knowledge that has developed over the years for Colombian coffee, and its capabilities to develop and perform all these activities, especially to develop the traceability of Colombian coffee. So what are the main duties of the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation? As the entity responsible for administer the geographical indication, we have some activities, but the main duties that we have is that we grant the authorization of use. As you may know, a geographical indication has an appellation of origin, has to have the authorization of use of the entity responsible for handling all the administration. And this organization does it and it has done it since 2005. So how can guarantee to give authorization of use to a product that is claiming to be 100% or claiming to be Colombian coffee by checking the product meets, by checking the product uh, over the criteria and the specifications and all the characteristics of the Café de Colombia included in the specification of the geographical indication. So Café de Colombia has some characteristics that can only be tested in a cup of coffee. So when for example we're in a port in a exportation process, where our agents and in our officials in ports take a piece or take a sample of green coffee, raw material, toasted and roasted in the place, and they make a cup of coffee and they drink it. When they drink it, they can see if that is 100% Colombian coffee. So that's a taste in the port that we do before the exportation is made, in order to guarantee that that coffee that is going to be exported to, for example, Asia, and it says that is Colombian coffee. So we test it before the exportation is made, just to assure the consumers and to assure the market of origin and the market of destination that the coffee is real Colombian coffee. So as the entity responsible, also we do enforce the protection of the geographical indication, and we do it by revising and reviewing non-authorized uses in the market, from unfair use of the GI and its reputation, and obviously when someone tried to register a trademark or a slogan including 100% Colombian coffee or Café de Colombia in Spanish or in some other languages that can evoke or can give a direct or indirect references of Café de Colombia in a trademark. So when someone looks for the exclusivity of the Café de Colombia, or claiming that its trademark is composed by the term of the expression Café de Colombia, referring or giving some information about the origin, so we enforce the GI through the use of the IP actions, let's say as an opposition, or some nullities or cancellation of trademarks, in order to protect the geographical indication and the appellation of origin from exclusivity claims of third parties that in some scenarios and in some cases they are doing it without the knowledge, because some people don't know that Café de Colombia has a special protection and is not a generic expression. And sometimes we also found that third parties and competitors trying to register Café de Colombia as a trademark with bad faith. So Café de Colombia and the Coffee Growers Federation also promote and advertise the geographical indication in order to increase their recognition in local and international markets. And finally, we, as part of our duties and as part of our activities, we file reports to the trademark offices in order just to give them information how we are performing and how we are doing these duties over the years. So Café de Colombia right now has challenges as a commodity, especially because it's a competitive market. The coffee sector and the coffee market is especially harsh right now. So the challenges that we have identified is that we need high economical invest and efforts in order to perform the quality analysis systems and the certification services, because as you can imagine, develop all these activities require a high uh, investment, and is a well requires uh, good money to perform these activities, and also to develop surveillance in the market, uh, to be able to effect and develop, especially um, legal defense. We need obviously qualified human resources to develop all these activities, and to developing marketing and advertising strategies to promote Café de Colombia, not only Colombia, but the internet in the international markets. Also, we have identified another challenge in order to maintain the quality and characteristics standards over the time. So we are doing it about in or through sustainability programs and market and export controls. Um, and finally, we are aiming to design some programs to add value and strategies for Colombian coffee, especially in the for the coffee growers in this industry. So the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation is trying to create new commercial environments in order to conquer new customers and to adapt to trends, especially in the digital market and in the digital segments, especially through marketplaces uh, and social media, like Instagram and Facebook, and obviously TikTok. So we are trying to adapt to these new trends, because we know that the new customers and this niche of customers are in this kind of social media and in this kind of channels. And we're aiming to develop effective strategies in these channels. And this is how I end my presentations, and hopefully will you have enjoy it. And if you have any questions, I will be able to I'm happy to answer them. Thank you so much.